Hey, all right, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to all the other apostles of GMS that taught me this truth. Peace and Shalom to my fellow Iken that are pushing this truth for the honesty and sincerity. I have a few scriptures pulled up for this particular subject. This lesson probably won't be that long. Depends on the spirit. But I was scrolling through my Facebook and I've been going for back and forth with the brother from the world, a friend of mine. And he's really confused. He calls himself to be a Muslim, but also while being a Muslim, he's in the street life, rapping. Not too long ago was in trouble for living the street life. And a young man at that. But he's calls himself to be a Muslim, but also he's all over the place when it comes to the Egypt Kemet shit. He's mixing that in with his Muslim religion or whatever. And so we were going back and forth when I first got on Facebook about 2 years ago. But since then I've calmed down a lot. I've calmed down a lot. You know how Jake is. He coming in the truth. You want to save everybody. So he had made a post about Mansu Musa, which is supposed to be a West African king during the Musa Empire around the middle to late 1200s. And supposedly Musa is supposed to be the world's richest king, African king. And so I just had put, King Solomon. And he came back and he put Solomon was the wisest, not the richest. And I'm not trying to be funny, but they still can't find his temple. And he says he's not trying to be funny, which genuinely he's probably not. But from our past dialogues over a few years back, he was always bringing up that you can't find the bodies of King David or Abraham. Where are all your kings and are buried at? Where are their artifacts in the history? And him not knowing the scriptures, not understanding that our heritage will be stripped and taken away from us, man. All right, him not understanding that. And so again, so he was saying that Solomon was the wisest, but not the richest. And I'm not trying to be funny, but they still can't find his temple. Well, this is kind of what this lesson is going into. Well, if they can't find the temple, then what is the Wailing Wall? What is that? That's over in Jerusalem right now. Where did that come from? And so we had which this is why women shouldn't be on the comment board. He had a woman come through on his friends list, and she was like, because I posted a few scriptures, and we're going to get into those scriptures, showing you that Solomon, that the Lord Yahawah Shemel Shai made Solomon the richest and the wisest, and that he would build his house. And she put all those writings are powerful. However, Solomon's first temple, has yet to be discovered, and this right here is just a depiction of what they thought the temple would look like in its entirety. But since it had been destroyed, okay, by the Babylonians, and we're going to get into that as well, and then by Vespasian and Titus and Domitian during around 66, which we just say 70 A.D., all was really mostly left of it was what we have today is what the Amalek celebration is called the Wailing Wall. All right. And so we're done with that now. And so this is 2 Timothy's 2:15. It says, study to show thyself approved unto power, a workman that needs not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And that's what we are doing here, man. We're rightly dividing the word of truth. Through the power and spirit of Yahawah Shemel Shai, we're cutting all Christianity doctrine, and as well as any doctrines that come up against the Lord Yahawah Shemel Shai, man. All right. And though I'm still a babe and a pup in this thing, man, you know what I'm saying? And I could definitely do more reading. But I do my share of studying, man. Okay. I do my share of studying. All right, and we can never do enough for the Lord Yahawah Shem Yahushai, you know. But immediately, when he said that, the promise that the Lord Yahawah Shem Yahushai gave Solomon popped up, and so we're going to get that in Second Chronicles, the first chapter, and we'll start at the top, then we'll move down so we can just set the tone. And Solomon, the son of David, was strengthened in his kingdom, and the Lord Yahweh, his power was with him, and magnified him exceedingly. I mean, Solomon was. I mean, when you read the stories of Solomon, all right, he was for the beginning part, he was a righteous king, man, and he prospered. Okay. Then Solomon spake unto all of Israel, to the captains of thousands and of hundreds, and unto the judges, and to every governor all of Israel, the chief of the fathers. All right. And so let me see here. Gonna move down. Now we're gonna move down. And Solomon went up thither to the brazen altar before the Lord Yahweh, which was at the tabernacle of the congregation, and offered 1,000 burnt offerings upon it. So where is he offering burnt offerings at? In the temple. And we're going to get into that prophecy of Solomon coming and building the temple for the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahushai in 2 Samuel, the 7th chapter. All right. And in the sight did power appear unto Solomon, and said unto him, ask what I shall give thee. And Solomon said unto Yahweh thy power, thou hast showed great mercy unto David my father, and hast made me to reign in his stead. Now, O Lord Yahweh thy power, let thy promise unto David my father be established, for thou hast made me king over a people like the dust of the earth in multitude. Give me now wisdom and knowledge, that I may go out and come in before this people. For who can judge this thy people that is so great? Because Israel was a great nation, man. All right. No, he knowing that the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai was with Israel, man, and reigned with Israel, okay, and prospered under King David, and now he was in the rule of these people, man. Okay. Verse 11. And power said unto Solomon, because thine was in thy heart, and thou hast not asked riches, wealth, or honor, nor the life of thy enemies, neither yet hast asked long life, but hast asked wisdom and knowledge for thyself, that thou mightest judge my people, over whom I have made thee king. And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is telling Solomon, because thou hast not asked for thy enemies, thou hast not asked to be wealthy, which most Jake would ask to do. The first thing that would come to Jake's mind is wealth. All right, but because Solomon didn't ask for none of these things, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to bless him with those things, and we're going to read unto that. Verse 12, wisdom and knowledge is granted unto thee, and I will give thee riches and wealth and honor, such as none of the kings have had that have been before thee, neither shall thou any after thee have thee like. All right. And so right there, the Lord Yahweh Shai is telling you that there will be no king greater than Solomon, man. All right, not before even his father David, or none after him, man. Okay, and either you believe that or you don't, man. And if you don't, that's fine, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. All right. Then Solomon came from his journey to the high place that was in Gibeon to Jerusalem from before the tabernacle of the congregation, and reigned over Israel. All right, man. And so right there we see that the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai gave him riches, gave him wealth, man, and gave him wisdom. Okay, and when you're reading the wisdom of Solomon, which I need to start reading and getting more into that. All right, the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai worked with Solomon and gave him insight on how things worked, man. All right, creation, the insects, all that. All right, gave him understanding of how all things worked, man. Okay. And so from there we'll move to to Solomon being prophesied to build a house for the Lord Yahawah Shem Yahushai. Okay, let me see. Moreover, I will appoint a. This is Salaki. This is 2 Samuel 10 and 10 through 16. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my. This is Nathan talking to David. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and I will plant them that they may dwell in a place of their own, and move no more. Neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them any more as before time. In verse 11. And as since the time that I commanded judges to be over my people Israel, and have caused thee to rest from all thy enemies, also the Lord Yahawah telleth thee that he will make thee an house. Verse 12. And when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. And this is talking about Yahushua, and this is talking about Solomon. All right, which are one and the same. Okay, he shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. This is going into Yahushua. All right, I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men. But mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I put away before thee. And thy house and thy kingdom shall be established forever before thee. Thy throne shall be established forever. And this is talking about Yahushua when he become on the earth, man. All right. But Solomon did end up building the house for the Lord Yahawah Shem Yahushua, man. Okay, and now we'll get into the account of the Babylonians coming and taking it away, and we're also going to get into that account to where Cyrus had a decree for the Israel to build it back, and there's also one in let me see here. I think it is in Ezra. Salakia. Yeah, I think it is in Ezra. We'll find that as well. But let's get into we'll find the Ezra one before we get into the Isaiah one. All right. So now we're going to get the account of the Babylonians come to siege. I guess we'll start at the top. And it came to pass in the 9th year of his reign, in the 10th month, in the 10th day of the month, that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came, he and all his host against Jerusalem, and pitched against it, and they built forts against it round about. All right, because Jeconiah and Zedekiah went off, man. All right, they tried to rebel. They were supposed to accept their punishment and go into captivity, but they tried to rebel, man. So the Lord Yahawah Shem Yahushai cast judgment on them, man. All right, ultimately because they were wicked kings anyway, man. Okay. Verse 2. And the city was besieged unto the 11th year of King Zedekiah. And on the 9th day of the 4th month, the famine prevailed in the city, and there was no bread for the people of the land. And, that's how always what happens, man. All right. Our villages and walls get besieged. They cut off our food and water supply, and the people starve, man. They starve you out. And that judgment is going to come again, man. All right. We will be besieged again, and famine will come again upon this place, man. Okay. Verse 4. And the city was broken up, and all the men of war fled by night by the way of the gate between two walls, which was by the king's garden. Now the Chaldees were against the city round about, and the king went the way toward the plain. And the army of the Chaldees pursued after the king and overtook him in the plains of Jericho. And his army were scattered from him. All right, so they caught up with Zedekiah on the run, and they captured him and took him back to Nebuchadnezzar, man. So they took the king and brought him up to the king of Babylon, to Riblah, and they gave judgment upon him. And they slew the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes, and put out the eyes of Zedekiah, and bound him with fetters of brass and carried him into Babylon, where he was held captive there, man. That's some cold-blooded shit. Kill your sons in front of you and then gouge out your eyes, man. All right. And verse 8. And in the ninth and in the 5th month, on the 7th day of the month, which is the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came Nebuchadnezzar, captain of the guard, a servant of the king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem. And he burnt the houses of and this is the point right here, and he burnt the house of the Lord Yahawah, Salakia, and he burnt the house of the Lord Yahawah, and the king's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem, and every great man's house burnt he with fire. And it goes back into Psalms 137 when they were with the Babylonians, man. The Edomites, Salakia. The Edomites were with the Babylonians. I think that's in first Esdras. Let me just hold on a second. Let me pull that up. I think that's the first Esdras. Like around, around 4th chapter. Let me see. Salakia, bear with me. I'm gonna find it. Salakia, y'all. Salakia. All right. I don't want to take you too much time. I could pause and find it, but on with the lesson, man. But yeah, the Edomites help burn the temple, man. Okay, and when you're reading in Second Kings 24, it tells you a list of all the different nations, the Moabites and the Syrians and the Chaldees and the Ammonites helped them. They all came about round about against Judah, man. Okay, or against our tribe, man, our kingdom. All right. And so yeah, verse 9, and he burnt the house of the Lord Yahweh, the king's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem, and every great man's house burnt with fire. And all the army of the Chaldees that were with the captain of the guard break down the walls of Jerusalem round about. Now the rest of the people that were left in the city, and the fugitives that fell away to the king of Babylon, with the raiment of the multitude, did Nebuchadnezzar, the captain of the guard, carry away. All right, and that goes into some of those were like Daniel and Meshach and Abednego. All right, they were carried away into Nebuchadnezzar's chambers, man. All right, into the Babylonian captivity. All right, and then when the Babylonian captivity was over with, King Cyrus came, and it was promised that they would build the the temple again. They would start to build the temple again, and it's in Ezra. So let me pause it real quick and let me find. I know it's in my hard copy, so I'll be right back. All right, yeah, this is Ezra 1, and I'll be reading down to like around 5. Now in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, that the word of the Lord Yahawah by the mouth of Jeremiah might be fulfilled. That the Lord Yahawah stirred up the spirit of Cyrus. See there, and right there it shows you that there's no free will, because it tells you that the Lord Yahawah stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, that he made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom and put it also in writing, saying, Thus saith Cyrus, king of Persia, the Lord Yahawah, by power of heaven have given me all the kings of the earth, and he have charged me to build him an house at Jerusalem, which is in Jerusalem. This was Judea, this would be known as quote unquote the second temple, the building of the second temple. Okay, and verse 3: Who is there among you of all his people? His power be with him, and let him go up to Jerusalem, which is in Judea, and build the house of the Lord Yahawah, power of Israel. He is God, which is in Jerusalem. All right, and let me see here. And verse 4: And whosoever remaineth in any place where he sojourneth, let the man of his place help him with silver and with gold and with goods and with beasts beside the free will offering for the house of power that is in Jerusalem. Oh, Salakia. Then those rose up of the chief fathers of Judah and Benjamin, and the priests and the Levites, with all them whose spirit Yahawah have raised to go up to build the house of the Lord Yahawah, which is in Jerusalem. And that part right there is a very important part, because it tells you, verse 5 again tells you, then rose up the chief of the fathers of Judah and Benjamin, and the priest and the Levites, with all them whose spirit the God has raised up, or power has raised up. And that's important, because where's Ephraim? Where's Manasseh? Where's Gad? Because they had already been taken away, man. All right, Salmanasar had already got them. Okay. They had already been taken away. And so right there is a cut on you saying that, I mean, there were a remnant of them, but as a whole tribe, like as a majority of the tribe, like, nah, they weren't there, man. Okay. And so now we'll get into Isaiah 44 and 28. Actually, let's go. Let's start up a little bit, so we can start up a little bit. Okay, we'll start at 26. That confirmeth the word of his servant, and performeth the counsel of his messengers, that saith to Jerusalem, thou shalt be inhabited, and to the cities of Judea, ye shall be built, and I will raise up the decayed places thereof. That saith to the deep, be dry, and I will dry up thy rivers. That saith of Cyrus, he is my shepherd, and shall perform all my pleasure. Even saying to Jerusalem, thou shalt be built, and the temple, thy foundation, shall be laid. And there's another occurrence of a proclamation being given to Judah, because Cyrus died, and I think it was Darius after him that came up, and they wanted to build with them, and that's when they were saying, like, you have no right or no reason to build with us. Roughly paraphrasing, man. All right. So this lesson was just going over, man, just history, man. And you can I also looked into the book of Josephus yesterday. Even though the book of Josephus is not canon, it still has some accurate history in there, man. You have to separate the bones. The bones are from the meat, man, or the meat from the bones, man. All right, so the history is there, man. That's how you quote unquote fact check the scriptures, man. All right, if it lines up with secular history, man, and it does. And I just typed in who built the temple in Jerusalem, and it says Solomon. All right, the first temple was constructed during the reign of David's son Solomon, and completed in 19 or not 19, but 957 BCE. Other sanctuaries retained their religious functions, however, until Josiah resigned 6040, 6009, abolished them, and established the Temple of Jerusalem as the only place of sacrifice in the kingdom of Judah, man. All right, let me see. And you can go here, Zerubbabel's second temple. See right there, second temple, Haraz's temple, destroyed 70 CE, man. All right. Who built the first and second temples in Jerusalem? During the first temple was built King Solomon after King David. So right, and look, man, the history is there, man. You just have to study it, you know, and take heed to it, man. All right. So this was just a different lesson. I know normally I go into prophecy, but this was just on me to put up this lesson, man. So hopefully it was edifying. Shalom.